Welcome back to the AYN Thor setup series, and today we're going to be talking about probably one of the biggest missteps in console history, and that is the Nintendo Wii U. Let's get started. So as always, if you've seen my previous videos, we're going to start with Obtainium, and we're looking for CEMU. There we go, we want to make sure it's this dual screen fork. So now we've got CEMU, and we're going to just open it up. So pretty empty to begin with. So we're going to press these three dots, and first we're going to go to our settings. For our general settings, firstly we're going to add our game path, which will be in our ROMs folder, and it will be our Wii U folder. There we go. You can add multiple if you have them on an SD card or you have them split over multiple files. It's entirely up to you. Next, for data storage, it's going to use by default its own app storage. However, I recommend using a custom folder so that way it's easier to access things like save data. So we're going to choose a custom root folder, and then on our root storage, I'm just going to make a CEMU folder. So once that's done, we're just going to swipe up, we're going to clear all just to fully close the app, and then we're going to reopen it. And this will make sure that that storage location is permanent. So in our data storage, you can see that the custom folder is linked to the CEMU folder on my primary storage. Okay, for our input settings, for our input overlay, we want to make sure that's disabled. It should be by default, but just double check just in case. So for our hotkey settings, I'm going to set my usual RetroArch defaults. So for quit, I'm going to hold select and press start. You have to hold it for a second for it to take effect. And for toggle menu, I'm going to hold select and press my X button. There we go. So we're going to go to controller 1, and we're going to tap where it says disabled. We want to set this to the Wii U gamepad. This will allow us to take advantage of both screens. So we're just going to press this set up all inputs button, and we're going to tap our controller, and it should automatically map them correctly, but do double check just in case. That all looks good. So now we're going to back out, we're going to go to graphics settings. So you can use turnip drivers if you like. So for our custom drivers, we're going to add our turnip drivers. If you didn't see my video where I covered turnip drivers, then please make sure to check that out. If you don't already have these turnip drivers, then you can grab them from Obtainium. You can go to Obtainium and you're looking for these track only ones. There's the Adreno Tools drivers and the Mr. Purple Turnip drivers. So I've got both of those, so I'm just going to grab the Mr. Purple Turnip, and I'm going to also install the Steven MXE one as well. And then we can just flip between them. Some will work better for certain games than others. So we'll try this one. If it doesn't work, we could try the other one, and so on and so forth. So that is all we need for graphic settings. So for overlay settings, we want to come down and we can disable the controller profile and the shader compiler. I'm also going to disable the friend list as well because I don't use it. Okay, so for games, there's a few different file formats. So firstly, we're going to be looking at the easiest one, and this is the one I advise if you look online and you get your games, then make sure you get these files. So I'm just going to get my Wii U folder under Wii U in our ESDE folder layout. So a WUA, a WUA file, these are decrypted, so they will just work. Plug and play. If you can get these, you want these. So I'll just show you the game booting up, and then later on in the video we'll cover other file formats. So I've booted back into CEMU, and you can see my game is there, so let's boot it up. So there we go, the game has booted, however it is only currently on the top screen. So what we're going to do, so if we swipe in from the left and then we press show pad, and then we press external pad screen, you'll see that I now have a screen on the bottom. This is our gamepad. So we'll say gamepad. Obviously you can just use a Pro controller if you wish. Just make a little profile. So you can see now we are in the game itself, and we've got our top screen with our cutscene and our bottom screen which will serve as our inventory and things like that. Just a note as well, for Wii U emulation, I do advise enabling high performance. You can also do this if you swipe in from the right and we change our setting to high performance mode and our fan to smart. Then what's going to happen is no matter what setting this is on, it will default to high performance when it needs to. Now if you have a game file that's like this, that's in a folder with all the different code and content and things like that. We're going to import this into CEMU and we're going to convert it. So we're going to go back to CEMU, we're going to press our three little dots and we're going to go to Title Manager. We're going to press Add, we're going to go to our downloads, we're going to grab that folder there and we're going to use this folder. So you can see it's going to install the title to the internal storage on CEMU rather than in our ROMs folder. So what I'll do is I'll press my three dots, I'll delete the original version that I had, and then I'll use this folder version and I'm going to convert to WUA. We'll save it back in our ROMs folder just so it's easy to access. There we go, so that's converted. If I just go over to my ROMs folder again, you'll see that we have what is essentially the same file, but obviously it's based off the folder version. And we can boot into this, and it boots as it did a moment ago. Now, if you have a WUX file and you find that it's not booting, you're gonna need some decryption keys. Now, I can't tell you where to get these, however, they are quite simple to find, just use the magic of the internet. So once you've got your keys file, we're gonna go to Android Data, and then we're gonna scroll down and we're looking for our CEMU folder. There it is, info.cemu.cemu. And then in there, we've got our content. So we're just gonna cut this and then paste it in there. We'll grant access to it. And we can see our keys file is in there. So when you boot a WUX file, this should now work. And there we go, we've booted into the WUX version. Not too sure why this is in Russian. Obviously, if you can get your hands on the WUA files, then they're the ones to go for. And that's it for Wii U emulation on the AYN Thor. If you like this video, I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe. Make sure you are subscribed because I've got many more AYN Thor videos coming out over the next few months, and you don't want to miss out any of those. So, like, subscribe, comment below if you've got any questions, and I'll see you next time.